So workers were killed in Marikana when President Zuma was the president of the state and government, and Cyril Ramaphosa was the businessman who was agitating the police to kill workers in Marikana. On the 16th of August 2012, and I had the opportunity that the first meeting after the massacre, I went to convene a meeting of workers in Marikana on the 17th of August, the morning after the massacre. The first meeting of workers, I convened that I had gone there with Cindy Somagacha and a guy called Andabiki. And I'm the one who called, there's a story where someone says workers called him to come to Marikana. It's not true, it's me who called someone who is a president of an organization now that please come to Marikana and speak to workers.
I don't know, guys, if we have people that are the supporters of Floyd Shivambu here, so that they can explain to us what angle is Floyd Shivambu taking with this thing. Because if you look at the clips that are coming out of my Buya consultation processes, these are clips where you would find Floyd Shivambu attacking the EFF, Floyd Shivambu attacking Umkhonto Wesizwe Party. And it seems like these are clips that people are only interested in. And I'm sure that these are long processes and a lot of things has been discussed. So what I don't understand is why Floyd Shivambu keeps attacking the EFF and the MK party. What is it exactly is he trying to achieve? And isn't this thing actually going to sabotage Maibuya in the future? Because these are people that were talking about the unification of black political parties. But we see one of the biggest advocates of that are taking other so-called black political party. What is it exactly that Floyd Shivambu is trying to achieve with this thing? And him as a politician, doesn't he think that this thing is sabotaging him? Because what he says about the EFF and the MK party is the only thing that people are discussing online. And if I was a Floyd Shivambu, I was having a consultation process with South Africans and going around the country and speaking to the people, I would actually appreciate if the videos of us talking about things that are impacting people are the ones that are going out instead of the videos of me attacking other political parties. Because I somehow think that this thing is sabotaging the whole process. Because right now, people are going to the processes, but what is it that he discussed? Because the people that cannot attend these processes, it is almost impossible for them to actually get to see what has been discussed. And it is almost impossible for them to see the clips of important things that have been discussed. Some people do not have the time to sit on YouTube for 3 hours and watch the whole entire process. Some people are looking for specific things that were mentioned in the process. But these videos of Floyd Shivambu attacking the EFF and the MK party are the ones that are taking over. It's almost as if Floyd Shivambu is only doing these consultation processes because he wants to attack the EFF and the MK party. This is what these clips have actually reduced this whole process to. So that's why I'm asking the people who love Floyd Shivambu, can they try to explain to us what is it exactly that Floyd Shivambu is trying to achieve? And most of the time, by saying things that South Africans have been saying for a very long time. Just like right now, there's a clip of Floyd Shivambu that is going around on social media. Many people are talking about it, and Floyd Shivambu is talking about the MK party and the fact that the MK party will not exist in 10 years. So, this is something that South Africans have spoken about ever since this political party was announced. Because if you look at the MK party, the MK party is a very different animal. People voted for MK party before they actually had the constitution. So people literally voted for the MK party because they follow Jacob Zuma. It was not because of the policies of the political party. It was not because of the stance of the political party. Some people are shocked about some of the positions that the MK party is taking right now. And these are people that voted for the MK party. Now they are on social media crying. They are crying that no, 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 no. We wasted our vote with the Umkhonto Sizwe party. But the thing is that these people voted for this political party before it even has the constitution. So why is Floyd Shivambu like wasting so much time speaking about things that we know already as South Africans? Just like that press conference where he was supposedly exposing the corruption that was happening in the MK party. People told him when he left the EFF, people told him that those people that you go in there, that those people that you're going to form a team with. Those are not good people, and there will be scandals there. And Flesh Babu said, no, these are the best people, man. These are the people that have the experience. These are the people that were in government before. And this thing only means that the MK party is ready to take over the governance. And Flesh Bambu eventually got to see what people were talking about. And the MK party had demoted him from the Secretary General of the political party. And because of Floyd Shivambu loves power so much, he is throwing his tantrums. I mean, like, this is the same guy who told the South Africans that if the MK party demotes me, I will take whatever position that they give me. If the MK party does not give me any position, I will be fine with being an ordinary member of the MK party. And if the MK party gets rid of me and they say that, okay, we don't want anything to do with you in the MK party, Floyd Shivambu said that he will be a volunteer of the MK party. But now he's telling South Africans that this is not a political party. This is nothing but a Jacob Zuma family Stockford, which is something that people told him before. So I don't understand what exactly is the angle that Flesh Wambu is playing at here. I actually do not understand. And I don't see how this thing is going to help him in the future. Unless Flesh Wambu, just like the MK party, actually thinks that when they announce this Maibuye political party, this political party is going to win the elections with a two-third majority. This is the same arrogance that they showed in the MK party. You remember they used to say that, no, we don't need other political parties. We don't need help from other political parties because we believe that we have the capacity of taking the power by ourselves. And now they are only realizing that, okay, it's going to be harder for us to get to take that power by ourselves. But right now, it seems like Floyd Shivambu is doing the same thing that he was doing at the MK party. Because what this thing is doing is actually isolating Maibui. It's isolating Maibui because every time when he's out and speaking mad about the EFF supporters, they hate him every day. These videos come out. And I don't think that the EFF supporters will appreciate, even in the future, to see their political party working with Flesh Vambu after all of these things that he has said. Because, guys, let's be honest, man. When we look at Julius Malema tried his best not to entertain Flesh Vambu. He is trying his best not to push back. But it seems like Flesh Vambu actually wants a war. Flesh Vambu wants a war. Unless there are things that Flesh Vambu knows that we don't know that he's willing to expose. But right now, it seems like Malema does not want to go into a war with Flesh Vambu. Okay, Jacob Zuma, when he speaks, sometimes he will take a jab there and there. But Julius Malema, he hardly speaks about Floyd Shivambu. But Shivambu, whenever he's out, he makes sure to speak about Julius Malema, to discredit him and to paint him as this idiot. Just like right now, we're saying that there's someone who was going around and telling the people that they called him, the workers of Marikana, they called him. It is a lie. This is the same guy who was attacking the EFF not so long ago and saying that the leader of the EFF does not understand the policies of the EFF. This is the reason why they cannot understand, they cannot explain their stance of illegal immigration the way the EFF actually says it is. So the EFF have their own policy on illegal immigration, and Fletcher Vambu accuses Malema of not being able to articulate that policy. And now South Africans are mad at the EFF and Julius Malema and calling them pro-illegal foreigners, whereas the EFF does not stand for illegal foreigners. I mean, like, this has been straight comedy, guys. I don't wanna lie. This has been a comedy. I mean, like, just listen to him right now, man. Like, prophesy. Fuleshi Vambu went to Malawi to meet with the Prophet Bushiri, and now he comes back as a prophet. And this is what he says about the political party that he said was the best political party to ever exist in this country. Joining that political party was the most solid and sound decision ever. And Jacob Zuma is the best thing ever since sliced bread. So now he's saying these things about that political party. I mean, like,
Mkhonto Wesizwe is struggling to become an organization. It's struggling to become an organization, and it will not be an organization. At least majority of us are here now, and I'm sure in Jesus' name that we're going to be here in 10 years' time. What I know is that in 10 years' time, Mkhonto Wesizwe will not be existing. Live 10 years, like in less than 10 years, there won't be an organization called Mkhonto Wesizwe in South Africa.
so I wonder when did Floyd Shivambu actually realize that? After he was demoted as the Secretary General, or when he was still in the MK party? And Floyd Shivambu, man, Floyd Shivambu is Floyd Shivambu is slimy, man. Because one thing I ask myself again is, were we going to hear of all of these things if Floyd Shivambu was still the Secretary General of the MK party? Would Floyd Shivambu still come out and say all of these things if he was still the Secretary General of the MK party? Because if the answer is no, then it contradicts what he said. You remember he said that he did not join the MK party to lead it. But right now, when they demote him from the position of power, he goes to attack the same political party that he claimed that he did not join to lead. So do you think if Lloyd Shivambu was still the Secretary General of the MK party, these are things that he would say? Do you think that this guy would have actually went on national television and told South Africans that the corruption that is taking place there in the MK party, man, it's quite big? You remember he was speaking about 7 million rands that was stolen from the accounts of the MK party every month. And he doesn't understand why do these people need so much money? What are they doing with so much money? Man, I'm quite worried about his political life. I think some of these things that he's saying are actually contradicting him. I think they are actually contradicting him.
Mkhonto Wesizwe is struggling to become an organization. It's struggling to become an organization, and it will not be an organization. At least majority of us are here now, and I'm sure in Jesus' name that we're going to be here in 10 years' time. What I know is that in 10 years' time, Mkhonto Wesizwe will not be existing. Live 10 years, like in less than 10 years, there won't be an organization called Mkhonto Wesizwe in South Africa. It doesn't have the capacity, it does not have the fortitude, ideologically, spiritually, organizationally, to could outlive its current problems. And that is a given. So those who are thinking that there will be an organization called Mkhonto Wesizwe for the next 10 years are wasting their time. Hence, we are starting this process of constituting an organization that is going to be a true representative of all our people.
Floyd Shivambu, man. Floyd Shivambu. Floyd Shivambu. I don't know what the guy is playing at, man. I actually find it hard to understand. It's hard for me to understand. And it's insane because the progressives in this country, they said that they need to come together and work together so that for the common cause, but they look more divided than ever. Maibuye already does not get along with the EFF and the MK party, and the EFF and the MK party by themselves, they don't get along. And these are the people that always speaks about the unity. We need to unify the black people in this country. We need to unify, but they cannot unify themselves. They cannot unify themselves. And it seems like all of them, they have big egos. I don't think if you were to put Floyd Shivambu, Julius Malema, and Jacob Zuma in one room, I don't think any of those guys in that room would actually be happy to be led by the other guy. I don't think so. I don't think Floyd Shivambu would actually like to be led by Julius Malema. I don't think Floyd Shivambu and Jacob Zuma would sit down and say that, okay, because the EFF has been in existence for a long time and you guys have more experience than us, how about you lead us? I don't think so. I don't think even Floyd Shivambu and Malema would agree to be led by Jacob Zuma. They already tell you that there's nothing that Jacob Zuma can offer to us because Jacob Zuma is old. He has already played his part, but he cannot take us into the future. And I don't think that Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma would actually like to be led by Floyd Shivambu. And this is the progressives. These are the people that are talking about the unity in this country. I mean, like, it is so funny it is so funny to watch. It is so funny to watch, man. And again, I think this actually again highlights the ego in our politics, man. I don't think this is something that we talk about more often. The ego that these politicians have. South African politicians are egotistical, man. None of these people wants to be led by the next person. This is the same thing that the people were talking about Hemen Mashaba and Musa Maimad. Just say Hemen Mashaba and Musa Maimad. Whenever you guys are doing the interviews, you say the same thing. When Musa Maimad speaks about what Build South Africa stands for and what they are trying to achieve, listen to action and say they are saying the same things. Why didn't these people come together? Like you don't like you'll never know. You'll never know. But when it comes to the progressives, guys, I think we need to be a bit careful because, again, this is something that Julius Malema was speaking about on 702 recently. That, man, sometimes I feel like we could just come together, man, ANC, EFF, and Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, and take the state power. After taking the state power, then we will decide how the government will look like. So I would say that maybe South Africans are still lucky that these people are egotistical because if they were to start thinking in the same lines as Julius Malema, mm, mm, that's all I'm gonna say. Guys, what do you think, man, about Floyd Shivambu? What angle is he playing, guys? What is it that am I not seeing? What is it am I not seeing? Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button and the most important part. Subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabao, so I will see you next time. Bye bye.